Hey, thank you so much. Welcome back to our channel. Now, with me here is an amazing music teacher, Mr. Ernest Kisali. He's a renowned music teacher in Kenya and definitely a popular music teacher in the Kenyan Music Festival. Welcome, Ernest Kisali.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Just in connection with what we are about to talk today, introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Ernest Kisali. I'm a music educator, as he said, and I've been involved in training students right from a very early age all the way to the university, doing lots of research, and I've been an examiner for many bodies and many public events, like the way you're saying music festivals,
Right.
and the other festivals in the country.
Right.
Yes.
And I hear you really know how to play the saxophone.
Yeah, okay, fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking forward to having someone to play a saxophone, there you have it. Call Mr. Ernest Kisali. Now, let's get to the business of today. Now, my son grew up with problems with motor skills. He was not able to hold even a pencil until the age of 6 years. Now, just try to explain to us exactly the connection between music and motor skills when it comes to autistic children.
Mr. Eric, I will bring you to a small history about my life. I worked in schools with students who have disabilities. We were challenged for about 2 years. And while there, I was involved in extensive research on the impact of music on these students.
Mm-hmm.
And I specifically was teaching most of the instruments to them and the idea of the music to them.
Right.
Music has so many benefits to students who are autistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way we have languages, French, English, like that. Music is also another language.
Right.
And if you know, the most thing we concentrate on autistic students, their ability to speak. Not knowing that these students can also express themselves using other mediums, and music is one of them.
Right.
One thing is these students respond very well to music.
Right.
And they by doing that, there's a way they can communicate to you, and there's a way also the other languages or the other mediums can be integrated into music. For example, I'm very sure when you're in school, you used to memorize the times table.
Right, that is
and
true.
It was introduced in form of a song.
Yes.
And you see, even the vowels, I, A, E, O, U, there could be a song to that. There will
Right.
be songs about animals, songs about colors.
Yes.
And what a wonderful way you can introduce that to the autistic student. They enjoy learning while at the same time they can be able to remember that using a song. And if you notice very well, the autistic students have a shorter concentration span.
That is true.
So you can imagine if you are teaching just letters to them, it's very difficult for them to stay on one task for a long time.
Okay.
But you can imagine if you integrated that in music, they will actually strive to sing the whole song.
Right.
Even if they are not saying the words, but they can follow the tune, and that develops their language very easily.
So what you're saying is that music helps them to remember more.
Yes.
It helps them
their
learn
concentration.
while they are being entertained,
Yes,
having
yes.
fun.
Yes.
So in the process of having fun and being entertained, they remember more and they understand even much further.
Yes, it improves
And
their
that's the reason
concentration.
why music is being used by many teachers
Yes.
in schools, especially the schools that have autistic children.
Yes, even early ages. You see, students who are learning at an early kindergarten,
Right.
year one, those music, their concentration span also is not that big.
Yes.
Because when we take them for instruments, some of them would only last around maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
So music helps them actually to improve their concentration span.
That is beautiful, Mr.
Yeah.
Ernest. So what's the connection between playing instruments and the motor skills? What's the connection with the hands and the instruments?
Okay. You see, when you're playing instruments, of course you're doing with your hands,
Yeah.
or you're singing, or with your legs. So when you're doing the fingers, what music does, it improves the finger dexterity.
Right.
I'll give you an example. For example, if you're playing a drum, you see this hand will be playing one beat, another one beat.
Yes.
So there's already a coordination.
Yes.
And the leg will be kicking.
Yes.
So you see that alone is enough practice for the fingers.
Right.
If you're playing the piano, it's the fingers that are moving. See, they now become flexible enough to hold a pencil.
Right.
If you're playing a saxophone, you see there's also finger numbers that will go. Any instrument you play,
Yes.
you'll find that you have to use fingers in a certain way. And in music, the fingers are numbered.
Right.
So you just do not play just at random.
Right.
That improves, and there are also technical exercises in music
Yes.
that prepares your fingers for the tasks that are involved.
So in a way, the message goes to the brain that the brain takes the message to the fingers. Something has to be done to the strings, something has to be done to the drums, and the body has to push itself and be able to do this.
Yes.
And in the process, the fingers become even stronger, and they can be able to do other activities,
Yes.
like playing the toys and even holding a pencil.
Yes, yes.
That is where handwriting starts for an autistic child.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing news. But just before we get to go to the next question, Mr. Ernest here has great experience dealing with autistic children, and of course in our next video he's going to tell us his personal story in raising his son,
Yes.
an autistic child.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Now, Mr. Ernest Kisali, now how does music help with speech development?
Okay, first of all, as I said, music is a language. And I've worked out many aids involving the way the teachers teach in school,
Right.
and how those vowels are done in music. See, the way we write lyrics
Yes.
is related to the languages,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
And you'll find music. You see, these autistic students cannot talk sometimes when they are beginning,
Okay.
or they are repetitive.
Right.
They might not be able to talk. Now, you
Yes.
see, for example, in rhythm, some rhythms are repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are doing something that is repetitive, it's easy for you to remember.
Ta, ah.
Yeah, ta, like the French rhyme.
Yes.
So if a child has to do ta, already that improves the speech.
Yes, and the
and,
use of the lips,
yes,
the tongue.
Yes.
Yes.
There's tate.
Yes.
You see, you can
Yes.
see the speech develops through that.
All right.
Another thing also, you'll notice when we do our music, if it's an orchestra, students will play together.
Social skills.
Social skills. If it's a choir, they will sing together.
As a team.
So if they were singing together, it's likely that child, mostly autistic students do not like to get involved with others.
They like
being alone.
Yes.
So this one helps them notice that they have a place in the choir, a place in the orchestra,
Right.
and they have a responsibility to learn to be part of them.
Yes.
So that way, even by seeing other students do the same thing, you will
Right.
find an autistic student coming. You might not realize that
Right.
the child is learning.
Uh-huh.
But in his own free time, if you watch, you'll find them actually singing what they learned in school.
Or trying to do what the others were
What they're
doing.
doing. And in fact, if you put them in there, even their gestures, even if they are not even removing the words at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
the rhythm flows with the rest of the performers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing news. Just before we go, what would you like to tell a parent who has an autistic child? At what point do they introduce music to that child?
As early as possible, expose the students to music. Of course, you will notice at the beginning that these autistic students react differently to different sounds. Like you see in songs, you might not notice, but songs are made of instruments.
Right.
The high-pitched instruments like the brass might irritate students.
Right.
The lower mellow instruments like the flutes, the clarinets, the pianos,
Okay.
you'll find the students enjoy. So
Right.
that's why you might find they do not like some songs and the other songs they enjoy. So at an early stage, if you can be able to introduce your child to music, especially playing musical instruments,
Right.
singing groups, you see, you'll notice that the students will develop their language faster
Okay.
than those who are not exposed to this subject or this instruments or the learning of the singing.
So introduce your child to music as early as 2 years and 3 years. Music helps in speech development. It helps in sharpening the memory skills of the child. It helps in helping the child to learn social skills, to cooperate with other students and other children. Music helps in calming emotions, right?
Yes,
Music
that's
helps the child
Yes.
to learn how to listen to other sounds that
Yes.
even irritating because of the high pitch.
Yes.
Music is powerful for an autistic child. Thank you. See you again next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.